Hey, Mom. Hey, kiddo. How
Hey,
y'all
daughter.
doing?
Hey, granddaughter.
Happy
Hello, good
Valentine's
morning.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And
Happy Valentine Day.
it is still Black History Month, of course. So we are still going to pay tribute to those who paved the way for us. This week, I just kind of want to do as like a little, like, not really a quiz, but just kind of like a question and answer. Did you know this? Did you know that? Or who did this kind of thing? Who's famous for this or famous quote? But first, I want to ask, who do you think is famous for this quote on my shirt? Nah.
On your shirt.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah, Rosa Parks.
Did she actually say that?
This is right.
That's what she meant.
I
That's
saw
what she meant.
right. That's what she meant. I saw somebody had a shirt that said "We out." Who do you think?
Yeah, yeah.
Harriet
I
Tubman.
would think Harriet Tubman would say that. Yeah. And
I
that's,
like those. It was like we
yeah,
out.
that's it.
All right. So Gen Z, what's going on with you? Why can't we and the people see your face today?
I will be sporting my beautiful um, profile picture for today. Um, as I do have Valentine's Day plans today, and I needed to get my beauty rest.
Oh,
So,
so you just
Okay.
woke up in a nutshell.
pretty much.
Pretty much just waking up.
Mm.
All right. So last week's mom or baby boomer had some good information, really great information about Black history. A lot of it I didn't even know about, and some I did and was familiar with. So let's get started on this little bit of Black History Month quiz or trivia. So my first question: what was Arthur Ashe famous for?
Tennis.
What's
Playing,
that?
playing tennis
Yeah,
and
tennis.
singing. Playing tennis
Yeah,
and
I knew
singing.
it was some sport.
yeah. We got to ensure we never forget the contributions to not only the culture, but just to America in general. And we celebrate Arthur Ashe. He was a famous tennis player.
And he has a tennis court named for him, after him. And
Where
I'm
is it?
not sure if it's in Wimbledon or if it's in, I'm not sure where it is, but I think it's in Wimbledon. But
Hmm.
I'm not really sure about the
Like
location. But
Arthur Ashe
the court,
courts.
yeah. Like when people come, imagine it's on their ticket, so and so, Venus and Serena will be playing on the Arthur Ashe court.
Oh, I think.
Somebody else will be playing on the Billie Jean King court and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
and, you know,
I think I have
Althea
seen
Gibson or
that.
whatever. Hmm.
Mhm. That's good. Okay, here's another one. Dr. Malana Karenga. Malana Karenga created this cultural observance designed to celebrate African American heritage.
What is Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa.
Okay, Grammy.
Grammy
Because
on
he's
it.
from Long Beach. He teaches right in, he's from Long Beach.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
But I think he teaches and teach or taught in Long Beach, but he's from Long Beach, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Oh my God. What else? Tell me something else about him.
I don't know a lot about him, but he did come up with that.
But what?
I said he did come up with Kwanzaa, so I don't know a lot other about him.
Wow.
did Did y'all talk about who was responsible for creating Black History Month?
Yes, we did, and
Mhm.
we
Okay.
talked about why um, because of Frederick Douglass' birthday and Abraham Lincoln's birthday both being in February. That's why
Hmm.
he chose February to use as African
He,
History Month.
Carter G. Woodson.
Carter G. Woodson.
I
Mm.
heard he was a brother of Omega Psi Phi
Me
fraternity.
too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Okay.
Yeah. D9,
Y'all go.
D9 representing.
Hmm.
Um, okay, here's another one for you. Um, you know what's funny is some of these I don't actually know. So let's hope we have the right answer. All right. The 15th Amendment, which granted African Americans the right to vote, was passed on which date? Was it February 3rd, 1870, July 14th, 1889, or November 19th, 1910?
Do you know the answer? You said, is that one you don't know the answer to?
I don't know.
Oh, I
I mean,
would like for it to have been February the 3rd since it's close to my birthday, but that sounds real good. But I don't think that was it.
I feel like it had to have been in the 20th century.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with 1910.
Yeah, I think it's November 19th, 1910. I'm gonna check. Let me see if I can check that answer.
But then again, that was only black men.
Read the question again, though.
The 15th Amendment, which granted
Oh, the
African
15th
Americans
Amendment. Okay.
the right to vote, was passed on which date?
Oh, yeah, the right to vote. Oh, yeah, because wasn't it so 1960? So I'm trying to think of, because we're going through that now with the them playing with the right to vote. So
Right.
it probably was 1910.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Let me check. It was wrong. It's February 3rd, 1870.
Yay. Okay. The right to vote. 1870. Okay.
Yeah, the 15th Amendment. That's ooh, that's
Oh,
way,
well, yeah. Now the amendment. Okay. That was amendment. Okay.
way off for anything I would have expected. I was with
Yeah,
you,
me too.
Kennedy, on 1910.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's good to know.
I mean, it might as well have been 2000,
Right.
given the way that
Exactly.
the way that they
No
set
kidding.
up these poll taxes and these poll
Exactly.
places
And this gerrymandering and all that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
Just voter suppression, left, right. Yeah,
right.
that's so funny that you said that. Not funny, haha, but you know.
Yeah, I know what you.
All right, here's another one. Which civil rights activist gained notoriety in the late 19th century for her scathing editorials denouncing racial injustice? Was it Sojourner Truth, Zora Neale Hurston, or Ida B. Wells?
You said,
and
can I
what
get
year?
the date again?
And it says in the late 19th century. Which civil rights activist gained notoriety in the late 19th century for her scathing editorials denouncing racial injustice?
I feel like it
Zora.
would have to be Sojourner.
I'm gonna say Zora Neale Houston.
Hurston. No, Ida B. Wells.
Oh well, I thought about Ida too, but
Was
Yeah.
Ida B. Wells that old?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's older of all these, right? Or
You
Sojourner.
said the 19th century.
19th century. Okay, you'll know this one.
1800s, right?
I'm tripping because I could have swore Ida B. Wells was a part of the women's suffrage movement. And that wasn't until the mid 20th century.
Oh no, really?
No, early 20th century.
Yeah.
Early 20th century.
Well, I mean, maybe it was the end of the 19th.
Maybe it was the end of the 19th century.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was.
Of course.
Okay.
All right. So the next question: who's generally considered the mother of civil rights movement? Harriet Tubman, Anthony, or Rosa Parks?
Who was the second person?
Oh, please.
Susan B. Anthony.
Oh no.
It wasn't a white woman.
No, it wasn't Susan. No, that's why I say it wasn't Susan.
Oh, great deduction.
Be quiet. Read that.
Who's the mother of the civil rights movement? Harriet Tubman or Rosa Parks?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks.
You are named.
Y'all like, wait a minute. You know what? I see him. I'm gonna get you.
I see him. You making all that noise. You might as well come say hi.
She throws something at him. Hi, see me.
Sure did.
Hi.
Hi, cutie pie.
Oh. Okay. Here's our next one. On June 11th, 1963, President Kennedy ordered the National Guard to ensure the enrollment of two African-American students, Vivian Malone and James Hood, at which university? Was it University of Mississippi, University of Alabama, or University of Chicago?
University.
I have no idea about this one.
I'm gonna guess and say Alabama.
I would have guessed Alabama, but it's University of Chicago. Yeah. National Guards had to help ensure the enrollment of two African-American students in 1963.
Wow, in Chicago.
In 1963. That ain't that long ago. Was that 50 years ago?
Wasn't Weren't our forever president and forever first lady, are they from Chicago?
They're
Yes.
from Chicago.
Mhm.
So when were they born? In the 70s?
I think they were born in the, what are they, in their 50s? So they would have been
Oh,
born
they're in the,
in the 60s.
so they would have been born around that time. That's just to put things into perspective.
Segregation, still, well, desegregation. Look at Grammy, she muted and then she tried to cover her mouth so we couldn't read her lips. She's saying some stuff to him. I go read these lips. It's so funny. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Not coming back with a smile.
That is very fascinating.
It is.
Let me ask this one. This is lengthy. After her husband's assassination, she fought for 30 years to get justice for her husband's murder. The jury deadlocked in the case, thereby acquitting Byron Della Beckwith, a supremacist whose fingerprints were on the murder weapon. After uncovering stolen evidence and crusading for justice, she was able to see his sentencing for the murder in 1994. She also became the first woman to chair the NAACP. She is,
Wow.
what is her first and last name?
Now, you know, that's really sad because as soon as you said that, I thought of 3 people right away.
Okay.
You know, so that means, you know, that was assassinated. So that's really sad.
I think you'll know it, Mom.
She chaired the NAACP.
That's before I was born, folks.
It's still your history, girl.
I didn't know that.
I know, but
part.
you said it sounds like recent history. So I'm not, I don't know what was going on in 1994.
I'll give you a hint.
1994, it was, so it wasn't, I don't think it was Betty Shabazz. So I'm going to say Merrily Everett.
Yes, it was. I was going to say, I'll give you a hint, and that's, a movie that was out. So Merrily Everett. Williams, I think it's hyphenated, right? Merrily Evans. Miss Evers Boys. Remember that?
Yeah.
Do you know what the Evers Boys?
Miss Evers Boys was with Alfred Woodard, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Isn't that based on her though, Merrily Evers?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's not?
I don't think so. Miss Evers Boys has something to do with the testing. If I'm not mistaken, we might need to check this. Has something to do with the syphilis injections that was given to this group of Black men that, and one of them, died not too long ago. I think the last one died within the last 10 years, and they lived in Oakland, California. I think that's what Miss Everest Boys were.
I didn't know that. Okay, so let me see. Miss Everest Boys. No, I think it was, wasn't Whoopi Goldberg in it?
She might have been in it, but the nurse was Alfred Woodard.
Yeah.
My homegirl. We went to the same high school together.
Only 127 men survived the study. Title characters in the African-American public health nurse who participates in the study. Ooh, Lord.
I don't know if you call participating. They didn't know what they were giving them.
No, it said the woman participated in the study.
Oh, okay.
A public health nurse who participated.
Yeah, she was a public health.
So she might have been one giving the shots or something.
She was, and that's why they called them her boys.
Yeah, but didn't realize what was going on until later. I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Yeah.
I never knew that. I didn't know. I thought that's what. See, this is why we need to know our history. I really thought that had a connection to Merrily Evers.
No.
Evers Boys. I really thought that had a connection. Like, that's not a common name.
And that's one of the reasons that Miss Evers Boys is only one of the reasons that African Americans do not like to take vaccines.
Let's talk about that. That's very timely.
Yeah, because it is very timely because of that experiment, and I think might have been a couple of others. Well, of course, the Henrietta Lack, which wasn't necessarily an experiment, but they was taking what they had found in her blood and using it to save other people. And then I'm sure there's other things that we have not discovered yet or that have not been revealed to us yet.
Yeah.
So that's, but that Miss Everest Boris is one of the reasons. And that has not been a long, long time ago, because like I said, the last one of that 127 Black men, he lived in Oakland, California. He got money and they paid him. And that's just been in the last 10 years, I believe. But he passed away too. So that
In the
last,
last 10 years?
I believe that was in the last 10 years that he just recently passed away. But after all those years, it's not like he got money right away.
Yeah.
He
And
got
I'm sure
money,
it wasn't what it should have been.
and it wasn't because syphilis, it goes into
Yeah, you
messing with
can
your
go blind.
brain.
You can
Uh,
become, what is it? Sterile.
yeah, you can become sterile. It messes with your brain. You can have
Yeah.
outbreaks of just horrible things. It messes with their children. So a lot of those men had children that were affected by it.
Uh-huh.
So it just went on and on and on. So it just messed up their life, and they didn't know what they were giving them, but that's what they were giving them.
What became, I gotta watch this film or
Yeah.
more about it. Like, I knew about this. This is the Tuskegee experiment, right? Is this when they gave them syphilis?
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe
so
I hadn't connected that together either with that, but yeah.
so what became of, like, why did they do that? Were they doing that to literally annihilate some Black folks? Like, these men can't have
They
children?
were the tests, they were the guinea pigs. I don't think it was trying to annihilate, but they were the guinea pigs testing out the syphilis, what it did to you, what it could do to you, because they never gave them the medicine that I recall to cure it. So they gave them the syphilis to see what the stages were, to learn about it, what it could do.
So they thought they were going to get some sort of vaccination, and instead they gave them syphilis? Or did they sign up for a study and they didn't know that it was going to be?
I don't recall. I have to relook at that too.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I was supposed to look up something that we discussed last week. I don't remember. I've been reading a lot of different articles. I don't remember if I looked up precisely that. But now that you're talking about this, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is like medical racism. Is I don't know if that's the proper term, but I got this notification through Push Black.
Yeah, me too.
And the story is of a man named Fortune. So Fortune was a Black man enslaved by Dr. Preserved Porter in Waterbury, Connecticut in the late 18th century. Fortune and his family were held in captivity on a farm owned by Dr. Porter. Fortune operated the farm while Porter tended to his medical practice. And then it says, shortly after Fortune's death, his children were sold off, and instead of performing a proper burial, Porter stripped Fortune's skin and boiled his bones to keep his skeleton for anatomic study. Porter is believed to have opened an anatomy school in Waterbury, where he invited other bone surgeons to study Fortune's skeleton. Fortune's skeleton was passed down in the Porter family for generations before it was donated to the Matadic Museum in Waterbury. It remained there as an exhibit named Larry until the 1970s, when it was put into storage. It was only in the 1990s, when the museum started a project to examine the skeleton, that the researchers learned that the skeleton referred to as Larry was the remains of Porter's former slave, Fortune. Like, what kind of mess is that, right? In 2013, over 200 years after his death, Fortune was finally given a proper burial. A dedication service took place at St. John's Episcopal Church in Waterbury, the same church at which he allegedly was baptized in 1790. I was just blown away by this. Like, what in the world are you doing? Like, messing with the man, let me finish this. Unfortunately, Fortune's story is not unique. White doctors have a long, disturbing history of using Black people as unwilling medical specimens. The roots of medical racism in this country run deep, as Black people disproportionately perish from COVID-19. We see how the struggle continues today. To learn more about how you might be affected, listen to the Black History Year podcast called What You Need to Know About Medical Racism with Harriet Washington. And it just shows, like, this man's picture, Fortune, and his skeleton. And I'm like, did did he just think this man was so like strong, and like how was he so strong and big that he needed to study the bones? Or was he just like, oh, this is a slave, he's nothing, I can just get his bones and have other
Both.
people poking at the bones?
Both. Yeah, he thought both. Yeah. Uh,
Isn't that horrible? Like,
that's horrible.
beyond.
But I would imagine that that wasn't the only skeleton that he had. He didn't just stop at
Right.
one.
Not to say he done open the doggone practice that
Yes,
was
he
doing
didn't
that.
stop at one. They probably had several that they were doing.
And that makes me think about, I don't know how true it is. And I know we did the social experiment. I probably need to read a few more articles about it. But you know how it said that some Black people were like their organs were coming up, were being like they would die.
Yeah.
You'd see them dead. What I'm trying to say is like some Black people had died, like maybe they were missing. And then when they were found, they were dead, but the organs were missing too.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's harvesting the organs of Black folks? And why are you doing that? You know what I mean? And like, is there a thought that, there's something to our organs, kind of like the HeLa cells at Henrietta Lacks's super cells or whatnot? Like, or is it just they don't think they're going to miss these Black people?
I think that more so that they're not going to miss these Black people. But I do believe that they also have the idea that there's something wonderful or something really great that we can probably get from them because of some of the stuff they've gone through and they're still going through it. That, and or they're still surviving.
Yeah, like there's got to be some
and still our rise.
That magic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like how Kimi said, the Chinese women believe that Black women are really strong. So that's why they chose her to be a surrogate. So they have these ideas. Some of them have those positive ideas, and some of them have those ideas, and they also have the idea that nobody's going to miss this person. So that's why we have to show up in everything we do.
But didn't the Chinese women also ask her if she ate chicken?
One of them did that I knew of, because they were concerned about, I don't know whether they thought the baby would pick up on that habit. Or they think that that would be unhealthy for her. Or something
I thought
like
it was fried chicken specifically.
They
asked specifically
fried chicken specifically.
If you eat fried chicken.
Yeah.
Not just chicken.
So that could have been just a health thing. Like, we don't want you to get unhealthy or whatever.
She asked for fried chicken now.
We don't
You know why she asked her.
I know. So it's not just a health thing.
Well, yeah. Fried chicken, because they have this Black people and fried chicken kind of situation. Serious.
You need chicken.
Ooh, see me talking about he wants the chicken.
He already asked some chicken this morning. I said, "You want chicken nuggets?" He, "No, I want chicken with bones in it."
For breakfast?
Okay.
But
while we are on the topic of medical racism, there has also been this issue of sterilizing Black women in the hospital. And other women of color as well.
Yeah.
But this is Black History Month, so we'll focus on the Black women that have been sterilized. But yeah, they just will, these doctors. So what I'm thinking of specifically is actually this was this movie that I had watched, and it specifically honed in on Latinx women that have been sterilized in LA. But they were also, they also touched on like Native American women and Black women as well that have been sterilized. And that was just really, I guess you could just say I was dumbfounded after I watched that documentary, because...
What's the name of it, Bug?
I don't remember. I watched this in my feminist studies class. This was like a while ago, like my first or second year. So I don't remember what the name of it was. I could just probably type in like movie about movie where doctors sterilize women.
I heard about this recently though, like real recent. weren't they doing that to the women in the Hispanic, the Latino women who
No,
the board, if they came across the border and they kept, 45's regime, and they were keeping them at the border with the children and pulling the children, weren't they sterilizing those women? I think a couple of women came out saying like, I'm pretty sure this is what happened to me.
so the movie I'm thinking of is called No Mas Bibis, and this is, like I said, this is about about Latinx women specifically. And the synopsis says immigrant mothers sue county doctors, the state, and the U.S. government after they were tricked into sterilizations in the 1960s and the 1970s. But I do also remember this was a section of my feminist studies class called reproductive justice,
Mhm.
or something like that. Um, Something along those lines. And so, yeah, we also got into like how indigenous women have been sterilized, Black women have been sterilized. So just like trying to, I don't even know, just cause trauma to these women unknowingly, until they knew later in the future, much later in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to cause trauma and also trying to limit or decrease the race.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when I was
Yeah.
working in the hospital, they gave a lot of Latinx people, women, um, cesareans unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Why
would
they
do.
do that? Because they could risk dying?
Well, they just gave it to them. They just didn't want to take their time and let them go through the
Go
natural
through the
process.
process. Mm.
Most of them would just like, cesarean so they can get out of here or something like that. Kind
Mm.
of-
I also wondered about that when they have like students, like
Right.
interns.
And I worked at a teaching hospital, so they probably did that so
They're
that
like,
they
oh,
can,
this person needs to get in a couple
yeah,
surgeries. Let's show
cesarean.
them
They
how to do a
probably did that
C-section
too.
right quick.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is not right.
And it was like a county hospital, so it was people that probably didn't have any insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead and practice on them.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
that just really bothers me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a scary thing.
Okay. Well, let me give y'all one more quiz question and then we'll wrap this thing up. Um, who established, no, do I want that one? Um, oh, yeah, I'll do this one. Who broke 3 track and field world records in 45 minutes at Ohio State? Was it Jesse Owens, Maurice Green, Michael Johnson, or Carl Lewis?
I'm gonna say Carl Lewis.
I'm going to say Carl Lewis. Who do you say?
The first person.
Jesse Owens?
Mm-hmm.
It was Jesse Owens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it didn't say when, but it was, Ohio State. So I figured that. So, okay, y'all, that's a little bit of Black history facts and good conversation for this week. Does anybody want to add anything else?
No, that was very interesting. I do want to add that we have a lot of Black history that's been happening in the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
of a lot of African American women that are coming up, becoming judges, becoming heads of CEOs of companies. I was just reading the other day this African American lady was CEO of Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
Companies that we are not don't even think about we just assume that CEO is a Caucasian male, since that's traditionally what happens. So it's I'm thinking that people have been preparing themselves, which I like the fact that, and I always suggest that we prepare ourselves so that we can be ready when that opportunity presents itself, and that way we won't have to worry about getting ready. But
What, in the words of Sugar Free, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get
we
ready.
have to get ready.
You
Yeah.
ain't got to get ready.
So that's what I'm suggesting, that we just get ourselves together so that when that door opens, we can step right in, because we know that sometimes the doorknob is on the inside and we can't open it from the outside. So we have to wait and let somebody open the door from the inside. And when they open the door, we have to be prepared and ready to get right on in there.
You know
Yeah.
what? That is so true. I mean, if you think about, sometimes we are in our heads a little too much with like, you ask the universe for things and then they come your way and then you're like, ooh, you get fearful and you don't have the confidence to do it. But I read something, the guy who's Virgin Records and Virgin Airlines, what is his name again? That British man.
Yeah. Is it
Anyway,
Brent?
yeah, Brenson or something like that, Branson. He said, whenever you are given a chance to do anything that is, outside of your comfort zone, do it.
Mm.
Let's do it. If you're given an opportunity, the way he worded was something like, if you're given an opportunity to excel, even if you think you're on a freshman level and this is grad school that they're trying to get you to do type work, do it. Nobody's going to come to you if they don't think that you can do it, if they don't have the confidence in you. And if they're coming to you, they're going to help you succeed if you don't have what it takes. So I was like, I'll be damned. That is a good point because that's how he was saying his story of how he became the multi-billionaire that he is. Ever since then, I'm like, I'm going to do it. Like,
Yeah, that's a
if
good
not
point.
now, then when?
Then when? Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So with that, happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy the rest of your Valentine. Happy Black History. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. I love you.
Okay. Love you.
Love y'all.
Bye.